we've all tried time blocking, 6 a.m., check the weather. 7 a.m., take the dog out, right? 5 p.m., take the trash out. 6 p.m., check the mail. But the thing about time blocking is it doesn't seem to go deep in understanding the meaning of the things that we have to do every day, the routines, the system that keeps us accountable, and really just making sure that we're on top of things, we're lifing, and we're getting our shit together every day. What is the next level after time blocking in our new normal? This is time prompting, and you can do this in any AI. My favorite way now, they've reinstated it. They actually listen to all of us who have been really enjoying using it, is Grok with the tasks. ChatGPT has a tasks section. Gemini integrates with tasks, and you can do this in the different ways. And one of my favorite ways of time prompting, you can really get specific with the places you're going and the meaning behind those and kind of the why. You can put out a lot of sort of like having a check-in and going into, you have sort of being notified for a second, or if you want to go deep into focus and have a conversation or have video assistance with your task, you can do that if your task especially is active. You can also, which you can kind of do in any calendar or to-do list app, but it goes even deeper when you do this in your AI. You can tell it, let me know the consequences, or even just let me know what will happen if I don't do this task. Remind me to take out the trash and let me know what will happen if I don't, for instance. Remind me to check the mail. Let me know what happens if I don't. And then it will go deeper. And what's cool about time prompting is it's a lot more flexible on timing, and you can kind of have more or less your windows. So it's going to be more understanding about your morning, your afternoon, your evening, and your night, and then in the prompt, you can kind of expand on, you might have it go off at a certain time, but you can expand on what your morning is going to look like for the several hours for a morning that makes up a morning, that makes up an afternoon, that makes up an evening, that gets your night started and gets you off to a good sleep, right? So it's a lot more specific. You can have meal plans based on what's in your fridge, based on a budget, based on simple meals that are easy. You don't even have to really come up with like meal plans anymore by yourself. If you have a certain health sort of state that you want to be in, you can have a meal plan based on that health state, and even get more educated at the same time about nutrition and health while you're meal planning, so you're not just stuck trying to separate the time that you meal plan versus the time that you're learning about your actual health and nutrition. So that's where it really takes things to the next level, that goes kind of past, we need to get beyond this repetitive nature of time blocking into something that is more fitting for our life now. Journaling can get extremely deep when you have your AI ready to brainstorm and go deep with you. And you can have that set up on a time of day that you can check in with it. You can also obviously pick up the phone and call your AI, of course, in my case, Grok, or you can have it set up as a check-in time, have a prompt that explains that you want to check in with them at a certain time, that you want to check in with your journal. Set it up. And then what's cool is you can say, I want to check in with what's on my mind. And if you want to put sort of what's going on up to the present, or if you want to put, just that you want blank space to check in, it will ask you what is on your mind, and then you feel like you're going really deep and in understanding your life, understanding yourself, life prompting. And that is, you can even have a conversation. I've talked about this lifing system called lifing, and you can update that conversation and it will remember everything that is going on and refer back to things. So if you're feeling a little bit like you're not getting as much work done, it will bring up the things that you've done in your relationships, in your work, in your life that you've done, and it will kind of go in there and look for patterns as to that maybe you're being a little bit hard on yourself in this area, or maybe you're not recognizing what you did, or things like that. Or it will also bring up that maybe areas that you can do a little better in, and areas that you can think about a little bit more in your relationships or in your work or areas of life. So really deep on the journaling prompting in this, that it can go deeper. And any of the things that you have set as tasks in your prompting can be turned into a conversational journal at that point. So if you want to journal about how much it sucks to take out the trash or check the mail, that can be turned into a whole conversation. Anything could be a journal when you're AI prompting, when you're life prompting, when you're time prompting, because it's giving you that space to check in. Also, if you're busy just running on everything, the notifications will come up and ping you if they need to, or you will just be able to check later your notifications if you don't have your phone on you. But it's not so set under this repetitive pattern of do this, do that, and limited to your capacity. It's set more to understanding the meaning in your life and why you're doing these things and what is leading you to do these things, and the parts of your life and the times of day or the times throughout your week or throughout your month that things will come up. It will give you tips on how to best deal with those errands, with those things that you have to do. So it's giving you something even deeper than the future journaling that we've talked about, because you're going deep into the meaning. You've just got yourself assistance with work using time prompting, time blocking on the next level with your favorite AI using the tasks section. You can, especially if you're working in today's age where you're a jack of all trades, even if it's in your field. If your field is tech, if your field is maintenance work, if your field is construction, you're going to be a jack of all trades within your field. Maybe you have a couple different fields. Maybe your field is tech and construction work. It happens. We all have different life experiences. So you need in your planner or in your system, or even just creating a new system to work in, you need a way of doing this that is going to be integrated and going to give you a sort of a understanding of what work is needed for you to do, what people are looking for, what is being needed. And you can do that by tasking and letting your AI know, in my case Grok, that this is the kind of work. You put your skills in the prompt, like give me work that involves tech, that involves art, that involves outdoor selling, that involves education thrown in there with like libraries, that involves different things. Maybe that involves the maintenance work, the construction work, that involves things that people actually need, some wellness. And you put it all in there. Maybe you've got like several things that you're doing. You've got work with your family as business. You've got work by yourself that you might be doing. And you can put it in one long prompt, set that to daily, and it will give you a way of understanding the kind of work that is out there. Put it at a time in the day that you feel like you work best, because that's something that's really cool about this age now, is we can kind of work being an adult, you work when you figure out the time that is best for you to work in, or else you're not going to work as well. And if you're in a situation where you're working on somebody else's time, you can put that in as well. But nowadays, that's so customizable. You can kind of understand the time and then the work that is needed, your skills. And then you can even put in the prompt, give me tips on how to work better and what to do. And you can put maybe your resume within the prompt with all the text of your resume, and it will then go out and look at everything and be very specific with you. And you can set that to go off at a certain time. You can have your conversation every day. And even if some days you realize you are focused on family, focused on errands, those tasks, if you have it connected to your email, they will save to your email, and you can then go in under ChatGPT. They will save under a section. You can kind of find that under settings in ChatGPT if that's what you're using, but they will save, and then you can get back to it on the days that you are working. And it just takes it to a deeper level.